Welcome to InstaOwl's classes. We at InstaOwl believe in democratizing education for one and for all. Welcome students, let's continue studying the age of industrialization. Now, let's see the evolution of Indian industrialization. European managing agencies, now we have seen that we have started industrialization in India. We had Indian entrepreneurs take up factories, make factories. Now we're going to see how it emerged, how it grew. It focused on tea, coffee, mining, indigo and jute for export and not for local sale. So now we started experiencing more of international trade. Late 19th century Indian industries avoided competing with Manchester goods with the cheap goods which came from London. They produced coarse cotton yarn instead of fabric, and yarn was used by handloom weavers or then exported to China. So now what happened is, instead of sending out textiles, means a fully woven fabric, they started exporting yarn. Yarn means cotton threads which are supposed to change into fabric. That is called as yarn. So yarn was exported now to weavers in China. Early 20th century changes. Swadeshi movement led to a boycott of foreign cloth. Yes. Now this movement, you all must have heard, when the Indian national struggle was going on, they wanted to stop all the foreign material that came to India. This was one movement which boycotted foreign cloth. Nationalists pressured the government for tariff protection and concessions. They wanted protection and concession for Indian cloth, for Indian merchants. Indian yarn exports to China declined due to competition from Chinese and Japanese mills. So now we had competition from China and Japan also. That is why it started declining. Shift to cloth production. Indian mills began producing cloth instead of yarn. Now, instead of yarn, now they started making fabric. They started making cloth. Cotton piece goods production doubled from 1900 to 1912. Let's see the impact of the World War I. World War I started in 1914, lasted for 4 years till 1918. Decline in Manchester imports due to British mills focusing on raw production. Britain was a part of World War I. That is why the production declined. Indian mills supplied war needs and expanded production. Industrial output surged with increased factory operations and workforce. Let's see what happened after war. Manchester struggled to regain market position. Britain cotton production fell. Local Indian industries gained strength and market share. Now, because Britain goods had fallen down, we got a boost in our markets so that we could supply more of cotton goods to the international trade. An illustration of the first office of the Madras Chamber of Commerce. Small-scale industries and handicrafts. Post-war industrial growth, large industries remained a small part of the economy. We did have industries, but they were still a very small part of our economy. 67% of industries in 1911 were located in Bengal and Bombay presidencies. Now, these were big centers of industrial growth. Prevalence of small-scale production. We know that there are large industries, cotton production, jute production, but still we had a lot of rural industries also at this time, and that is why they were prevalent as small-scale industries. Small workshops and household units were more common. Only 5% of industrial workers were in registered factories in 1911 and only 10% in 1931. Now, handicraft expansion. Handloom sector grew with production almost tripling from 1900s to 1940. Handicrafts, including weaving, adapted to new technologies like fly shuttle looms. Technological innovations. Fly shuttle looms increased productivity and reduced labor demand. Now, because of the use of fly shuttle looms, we have seen that increased productivity, you could increase the production of cotton or textile and reduce the labor demand. By 1941, 35% of handlooms used fly shuttles, up to 70 to 80% in some regions. Now they became more mechanized. They started using more mechanized use of textiles or these fly shuttle handlooms. Survival of handicrafts. Weavers produced both coarse and fine cloth. Finer varieties had stable demand. So everybody wanted a very fine kind of cotton. Coarser cotton is a little thicker cotton. Mill production couldn't easily replicate specialized weaves like Banarsi saris. Yes, this is what is happening. Mill production means what? Mass production, machine production. could not get us the same specialization or the intricate designs that we see by which are in Banarsi saris, which are woven by hand. Challenges for craftspeople, hard lives with long working hours. Just like any other employment or any factory workers, even craftspeople had long working hours, often involved the entire household working for textile production. Essential part of industrialization despite hardships. Yes. Please look at the screen. This map shows us locations of large-scale industries in India, and you can see that extremely large are in Bombay and in Bengal. Small industries you can see in central provinces, Madras, Punjab, little bit in United Provinces and in Bihar. This is an illustration of the hand-woven cloth. Let's see advertising and market expansion in early India. So now because market was growing, we also had to advertise our products. Let's see. Resistance and market creation. Indian weavers, craftsmen, traders and industrialists resisted British control. They demanded tariff protection and expanded their own market spaces. They wanted to grow, but everything was in the hands of the East India Company. That is why they resisted this control. Now, we're going to introduce ourselves to advertisements. Before this, we did not have advertisement because it was a local market. But as our Indian market started growing, as our Indian products started growing, we had to rely on advertising. Advertisements make products appear desirable and create new consumer needs. They shape consumer perceptions and are prevalent in various media even today. Historical use of advertisements. Manchester industrialists used labels on cloth bundles to build brand recognition and convey quality. So they wanted to be recognized in the market. That is called as brand recognition. Labels include images of Indian gods to give products a familiar and divine approval. Calendars as advertising tools. By the late 19th century, calendars were used to popularize some products. Calendars were widely seen, including in homes, tea shops, ensuring constant exposure to advertisements. So everybody needs a calendar in their house. So what they would do is they would advertise on these calendars. So it could reach every household and they could advertise their products at such a large scale. They also use royal figures. Let's see. Advertisements featured emperors and nawabs to imply product quality and respectability. Associating products with royalty aimed to enhance their appeal. Nationalist advertising. Indian manufacturers use advertisements to promote the Swadeshi products, that is the nationalist products. The message encouraged buying Indian-made goods as an act of patriotism. So the message was that if you buy Indian-made goods, you are a patriot. That means you love your country. So do not buy foreign-made cloth or foreign-made goods. Yes. Please look at the screen. This is an advertisement for gripe water. This is an illustration of a gripe water calendar of 1928 by M.V. Durandar. Same here. This is an illustration of Manchester labels in the early 20th century. Like I told you, the Manchester used the Indian gods and Indian figures to appeal to the Indian market. This is an example of that. An illustration of Maharaja Ranjit Singh on a Manchester label. Again, the use of royalty, the use of pictures of royalty for that product so that the product could seem, extremely useful and extremely reliable. This is an illustration of Sunlight soap calendar of 1934. Now, let's revise what we have done in this beautiful chapter. We've seen the rise of factories. We have seen the rise of industrial growth in India. We have also seen the plight of the workers that comes with factory increase. Unique aspects of industrial growth. So, unique aspects are that there has been positive growth, that is positive industrial growth. Mostly we've seen in the centers of Bombay, in Bengal, in the United Provinces. But we have also seen the negative part of industrial growth, which has led to hardships for the weavers, hardship for the artisans and the industrial workers. Promoting goods and consumer culture, yes. Now, promoting goods, apart from just making Indian goods, we have also adapted to advertising in the late 20th century. And still today, we use advertising to make our goods and products appear more reliable. I hope, students, you've enjoyed studying this chapter with me. Please stay tuned to install another video on another interesting topic in history. Thank you.